What's good, y'all? Rich Sosa back in the building with another banger. Now, first things first, before we go ahead and get started, I gotta go ahead and say thank God for another day and another opportunity. Now, as y'all can see from the looks of the title and the screen, today I got a very special build in store for y'all. I'm going to be showing y'all how to create the TACKO Fall glass cleaning finisher build, probably one of the best playmaking center builds in all of NBA 2K23 on next gen. Now today I did decide to go ahead and recreate my own version of this NBA player, and for those of y'all who do know TACKO Fall, really going to be a player like Bobo, but instead I'm telling y'all this build is going to be a lot different. Now, I didn't make this build to be 7'5 or 7'6 like TACKO Fall actually is. I went ahead and recreated it to be 7 feet exactly, but I'm telling y'all, you're going to understand as we go into the breakdown of this build exactly why I made it how I did. But when it comes down to the actual attributes, these are going to be the ones in which can get to a 100 plus. Now, that's going to be the driving dunk, the post control, 3-point shot, pass accuracy, interior defense, block with both our offensive and defensive rebound. Now, when it comes down to our speed, we're going to be able to get up to a 78. The acceleration, the same exact thing. This is going to be one of the best builds that I have probably brought to y'all this year. But as you can see from the gameplay, I'm telling y'all, I think you're really going to enjoy what we're going to be able to do out of this build. Now look, if it's your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new. Turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family. Smash that like button, but do not forget to comment down TG for thank God. And be sure to let me know where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will be getting back to y'all with the response. So as you can see, we already have this build created, and the first thing that I want everybody to be sure about is that you recreate it exactly how I'm bringing it today. Go with the height of 7 feet exactly. For the weight, I'm going to go with 215, and then for the wingspan, go ahead and max this out, or you can go to 7'9". Now I'm going to leave it like this, and then when it comes down to the actual body shape, I'm going to go with builds. Now we're going to be all set to go. Let's go ahead and first get into the breakdown of the physicals. Now, when it comes down to the speed, I'm going to go with the 74. Same thing for the acceleration. Strength, 73 maxed out, 75 vertical with a 90 stamina. But honestly, for this build, I want to be able to dribble, so I'm going to go with a 99. Now, remember, take into account this. You get a +4 from the gym rat badge, so you can go ahead and put on any of these numbers based to your own liking. But with the +4, I'm liking how these numbers are going to be looking. Now you can go with the 96 right here to get a 100 stamina, but this is how I'm going to create the build. Now feel free to make your own adjustments. From here, let's go ahead and start getting into the breakdown. So when it comes down to the interior defense, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 80. Now when it comes down to the perimeter, go with the 69, and our steal is going to go up to the same exact thing. Now for the block, go with an 85. Now when it comes down to the offensive and defensive rebound, go with an 85 as well, and we're going to get a total of 25 badges. Now as you can see, I like Challenger, Glove as well as Interceptor. Box Out Beast is solid with Chase Stone Artist and then Silver Post Lockdown. And then for tier 3, I like Anchor as well as Rebound Chaser. And these are probably going to be a few of the key badges that I'm going to pick when it comes down to the badge layout. We're all set to go when it comes down to the defense. Now when it comes down to the playmaking, I'm going to go with the pass accuracy of an 82. And if you want to, this is all based out of my own preference, but I'm going to go with the maxed out ball handle. For the speed with ball, go with the 65, and that right there is going to give us 15 badges. Now we still get Clamp Breaker as well as handles for days. And then for tier 2, I like Vice Grip and Bailout. Now I don't think we're going to really need any badges when it comes down to tier 3, but one that I'm really looking at is honestly going to be Post Playmaker. Now when it comes down to the actual breakdown of this build, I'm definitely going to go ahead and say Clamp Breaker and handles for days will be the main important badges, but make sure to base everything out of your own preference. So we're all set to go when it comes down to the defense and starting with the offense. Let me know right now, what do y'all think about the build so far? And you can adjust the height if you wanted to, but I did want to be able to get at least a 60 ball handle. Now the takeovers are going to play a huge account into this build. So once we go ahead and get into the breakdown of the shooting, I'm going to go with the 75 for the mid-range. Now for the three-pointer, I'm going to go with the 79, and that right there is going to bring us up to a total of 18 badges. Now for the free throw, put this up to a 72, and you should be all set to go. Now with these 18 badges, I like Agent 3, Also amped as well as Space Creator and Volume Shooter. Now for tier 2, I'm looking at Green Machine, and then for tier 3, the main badge that I'm focused on is going to be Limitless Range. Now Catch and Shoot and Corner Specialists are also solid out of this build, but one badge that I would consider over those would be Midi Magician. Now so far I think we're looking pretty good when it comes down to the offensive end, even more so on the defense, but let's go ahead and wrap it up with the finishing. So when it comes down to that close shot, I'm going to go with the 70. As for the driving layup, go ahead and put this to a 71. Now when it comes down to that driving dunk, to get contact dunks, I'm going to go ahead and put this to an 85. As for the standing dunk, go with an 80, and then pretty much you can go ahead and go about this to your own liking. So for the post control, I'm going to go with an 87, and that right there is going to bring us up to a total of 20 badges. Now we're also going to be able to get 2 extra badges on Hall of Fame, Back Down Punisher and Drop Stepper. But when it comes down to the 20, I like Limitless Takeoff as well as Pro Touch. Fearless Finisher with Slithery, and then I'm also happy that we do get Posterizer on Silver. And then for tier 3, I think Rise Up and Fast Twitch are going to be the main important badges. Now with the remaining attributes, you can go ahead and put this into any area of your liking. I would definitely have to say the speed is going to be important, so I'm going to go with the 76, and then when we get that Gem Rat badge, that's going to bring us up to a total of 80. Now for the takeovers, we get the sharpshooting, playmaking, glass cleaning, as well as the post scoring. Now you can go about this to your own liking, but I would definitely have to say the first takeover that I would pick is going to be Limitless Range. Now if you wanted to be best overall, I would definitely go with glass cleaning takeover. But to be more of a playmaker and get at least an 80 plus ball handle when your takeover is activated, I would go ahead and pick one of the playmaking takeovers. Now for my liking, I'm going to go ahead and pick Team Ratings Boost. Now these are going to be the 2 takeovers that I would pick to get the most out of the playmaking, but also more importantly out of the defensive end. Now let's go ahead and check out the build to make sure that we made it correctly together. We did make a few changes, so we should be getting these 3 comparisons. I like Chris Bosh and Joel Embiid, and as y'all can see together, we have created the glass cleaning finisher, and you can even consider this to be a catfish because of what we're able to do on all 4 areas of this build. Now do take into account, look, if you buy your own boost, that's going to be a +5. Running with the teammate that has on floor general on Hall of Fame, that's going to be another +4. Now the better you play, your stats also will gradually raise. And then the final thing is the +10 that you get from your takeovers when activated towards 2 separate areas. Now take all that into account, and I'm telling y'all, I think we made one of the best builds that you can possibly recreate, especially when it comes down to Taco Fall. Now from here, let's go ahead and get into the breakdown of the badges. Now these are actually going to be the badges in which I picked, and I think when it comes down to the finishing, we have everything that we need. So I went with Bronze Fearless Finisher, Gold Giant Slayer and Pro Touch, Silver Slithery, Limitless Takeoff, Hall of Fame Back Down Punisher, Posterizer, and then Silver Core Rise Up. Now when it comes down to the shooting, I like Amped on Silver, Bronze Agent 3, Silver Green Machine, Gold Space Creator and Volume Shooter, with Bronze Limitless Range as well as Core Bronze Deadeye. Now you can change up any of these badges to your own liking. Here's also going to be a few different jump shots that we can pick and recreate from, just to give y'all an idea of what this build is actually going to be able to do. Now when it comes down to the playmaking, I like Clamp Breaker and Handles for Days. Now for tier 2, Bailout, Quick First Step as well as Vice Grip. And then for tier 3, I'm really feeling Unpluckable, especially as the core badge. And if you throw 2 extra badges into this area, we're also going to be able to get this badge on gold. Now when it comes down to the defensive end, I'm going to go with Rebound Chaser, Anchor, Box Out Beast, Chase Down Artist, Post Lockdown, and then for tier 1, Workhorse, Challenger, Glove, and Interceptor. Now in all, I think this is one of the best defensive builds, but honestly when it comes down to the offensive end, I don't think there's anywhere that this build is lacking. Now let me know what y'all thought about this Taco Fall build, and if you created it exactly how I brought it to y'all, I would appreciate it if you went ahead and smashed that like button. And if it was your first time coming through, be sure to hit that sub button if you're new, turn on post notifications to be a part of the Rich family, and don't forget to go ahead and comment down TG as well as where you're tuning in from watching today, and I most definitely will be sure to get back to y'all with the response. But again, I just want to say thank God for another day and another opportunity. And with all that being said, I got one last thing to say. Rich out.